Live in the human paradise. Breathe the pure air of heaven. Longevity, vitality, and a lifetime of bliss.
住在人间小天堂，呼吸天堂纯气，延寿长生，幸福一生。
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're doing something really interesting. We're basically challenging a core assumption of luxury.
Which is?
That when you pay top dollar, say, for a fancy hotel room, a 7-star suite even,
Yeah.
that the air you're breathing is, pure, safe.
Right. The implicit promise of a controlled, high-end environment.
Exactly. But our sources today, they throw a major wrench in that idea. We're diving into some excerpts from Air 6-Free Maze Purifier, the Master's technology.
Okay.
It's authored by Fuqi Wu, who the source calls the Master, and the DD Strategist, published in Taipei, July 2025.
And it's not just a critique, is it? They propose something new.
Oh yeah, a whole new standard, they claim, for human longevity. So our mission today is to really analyze this central claim they make. The air of human paradise is purer than 7-star hotels.
That's quite a statement.
It is. We need to unpack why they think that expensive hotel air is potentially, well, dangerous. Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah, what's fascinating is how they go after the very things that define luxury hospitality.
Like what?
The atmosphere, the smell, that pleasant, clean scent, and the climate control.
Right.
The source argues that the perception of comfort is actually masking an unhealthy reality.
Okay, so how do they break that down?
Well, they point to three main issues. The first one is about what you're actually smelling. Sensation versus purity.
Meaning the fragrances.
Exactly. Hotels use a lot of stuff. Diffused scents, detergents for the sheets, carpet cleaners, disinfectants.
Let's make it feel pristine.
Right. But the source labels the result as a massive release of volatile organic compounds, VOCs.
VOCs. We hear about those with paint, maybe new furniture. But luxury hotels.
That's their point, and they're very specific about the danger.
What do they claim physiologically?
They don't mince words. They call these VOCs chronic neurotoxins and organ-toxins.
Chronic. So not just a headache.
No. They claim regular exposure damages the liver, kidneys, and the nervous system over time.
Wow.
So you're breathing in these chemical vapors designed for cleaning or smell, not really for, safe inhalation.
So if the source is right, that pleasant, clean smell comes at a hidden biological price.
That's the argument, a serious one.
Which brings up the mechanics of it all. We assume central air conditioning is cleaning things up, right?
Yeah, that assumption leads to their second and third points, recirculation and airtight design flaws.
Airtight makes sense for luxury, doesn't it? Keeps out noise, pollution.
Sounds good, sure. But the source argues this airtight design often means there's very little actual fresh air coming in and being purified. Instead, the central AC systems, they mostly just reuse and recycle the air already inside.
So they're just pushing the same air around?
Pretty much. Yesterday's dust, leftover chemical fumes, and get this, everyone's exhaled CO2.
All pushed back into your expensive room.
Exactly.
So the very thing designed for comfort, the quiet, sealed room, actually traps the pollutants.
That's the core argument. The air becomes stale, recycled, full of contaminants that never really leave.
That's unsettling.
They use this phrase, calling each suite a silent gas chamber of comfort.
Oof. Powerful image.
Yeah. Perfectly controlled temperature, but what's circulating could be, as they put it, invisible poison.
Okay, that's a disturbing picture. And it leads right to the tech people think protects them, HEPA filters.
Right.
And this is where the source gets really interesting because they claim even the best HEPA systems are, well, not good enough.
Fundamentally inadequate for physiological protection is how they phrase it.
Why? What's wrong with HEPA? It stands for high-efficiency particulate air, right?
It does, and it works mainly by physically trapping larger particles. Think of it like a superfine sieve.
Okay.
But the source says its effective range basically ends around PM.3, 0.3 micrometers.
Why is PM.3 the magic number? What does it miss?
It's the limit for effective mechanical sieving. What it misses, they argue, are the toxic ultrafine particles.
The really tiny stuff.
Yeah, the ones below PM.1. These are dangerous because they're so small they can get deep into your lungs, bloodstream, even organs.
Things like
aerosols we breathe out, tiny combustion particles, microtoxins. Stuff that, according to this source, HEPA just can't stop. They basically sail right through the filter material.
So there's a gap in protection.
Yeah.
A big one, potentially.
A physiological gap, yes. But even for the particles HEPA can catch?
There's another problem.
Yes, clogging and bypass. This is key.
Okay, explain that.
According to the source, those tiny pores in the HEPA filter, they clog up fast, sometimes in just like 2 to 7 days.
That quick.
That quick. And when it clogs, the air has to go somewhere, the pressure builds up.
So it finds another way through.
Exactly. It leaks around the edges through gaps in the filter housing, the path of least resistance.
And that leaked air isn't filtered.
Worse than that, it can actually pick up and carry the stuff already trapped in the dirty filter dust, mold spores, toxins, and blow it right back into your room.
Oh, great. So a clogged filter becomes a contaminant distributor.
That's the claim. It turns the system against itself.
Which leads to their summary. What was it?
Psychological comfort, not physiological protection.
Right. You feel safe because it says HEPA, but your body might still be dealing with the bad stuff.
That's the essence of their critique of current tech. A low-grade, continuous toxic load, even in luxury settings.
Okay, so if HEPA is just comfort, then what? They must propose an alternative.
They do. That brings us to their solution. The Air 6-Free Maze Purifier.
Invented by Fuchiwu, the master. U.S. patent and everything.
Yep, US 8268058B2. And the goal isn't just better filtration. It's framed as a complete environmental upgrade for human survival.
Strong words.
Very. They move way beyond just physical filtering. They claim a level of purity that's, well, unprecedented.
How do they define that purity?
Through something they call the 6-Free standard.
6 free. Okay, what are the 6 things it's free of?
Let's see. Dust-free, germ-free, toxin-free, smoke-free, odor-free, and metal-free.
It's comprehensive, covering pretty much everything.
It aims to be. And to get there, they describe this 5-step engineering process. It combines a few different physical and chemical principles.
All right, let's walk through it. This is the core tech, step 1.
Step 1 is primary ionization and pre-filtering. Air comes in, passes through a negative ion field.
What does that do?
It's designed to neutralize pathogens, like viruses and bacteria, and also put an electrical charge on all the incoming tiny particles.
Okay, and the pre-filter?
That just takes out the bigger stuff, coarse particles like pollen, maybe microplastics. But here's a key difference. They claim this stage also neutralizes VOCs.
The chemical vapors.
Yes. And crucially, they say it does this without using activated carbon.
Why is avoiding activated carbon important? Isn't that standard in purifiers?
It is, but the source argues activated carbon has a big flaw. It can absorb gases, but it can also release them later, off-gassing, especially if temperature or humidity changes.
Ah, so it's not permanent removal.
Potentially not. By using ionization to neutralize VOCs right at the start, they claim to avoid that whole problem.
Interesting. A preemptive chemical strike. Okay, what's step 2?
Step 2 is secondary ionization. Basically, another round of ionization to break down any stubborn chemical toxins that got through the first stage.
Double tapping the toxins.
Then step 3 is collection, electrostatic capture. All those charged contaminants, the neutralized germs, the particles, the broken down toxins get pulled onto charged plates inside the machine.
Like a magnet.
Pretty much. They claim it locks them down permanently so they can't get back into the air or bypass the system.
Okay, that sounds thorough, but why maze purifier? Where does the maze come in?
That's step 4, the maze effect. This is quite clever. Instead of just blowing air straight through a filter, they force the air through a complex path, a labyrinth with multiple sharp 90-degree turns.
Why the sharp turns? What does that do?
It's about physics, inertia, heavier particles or ones that don't react as quickly to the airflow.
They can't make the turn.
Exactly. They basically slam into the walls at the corners, which are also electrode surfaces, and get trapped there. The source says each bend acts like an additional capture chamber. It uses the airflow dynamics itself to scrub the air clean.
That is clever. Using the path itself as part of the filter. Okay, so after the maze.
Step 5, final purified output. What comes out, they claim, is 100% pure, toxin-free air.
100% pure. That's a very bold claim.
Extremely bold. They call the whole thing not just a purifier, but a personal-level biodefense system.
Does the source provide, independent tests, specific measurements like down to PM 0.01 or something to back up that 100% claim?
They emphasize their own testing and the patented mechanism itself as the proof. Their focus seems to be on its ability to handle those ultrafine aerosols that standard tests might miss. They argue the combination of multiple stages, ionization, capture, the maze, eliminates what simple sieving can't.
Okay, so we go from the tech specs to the value. And they draw this sharp contrast with the luxury hotels we started with.
Absolutely. The value isn't about feeling pampered. It's about biological function. Hotels sell you pleasant feelings, nice smells, surface stuff. This technology, they claim, creates an environment for actual regeneration, cellular recovery, biological safety.
So it's about health span, longevity, not just a nice weekend away.
Precisely. They're selling life functionality, not a holiday vibe.
And the cost comparison they make is pretty dramatic, too.
Yeah, it really highlights their point. They say you spend thousands a night for, quote, recycled gas in a hotel.
Right.
Whereas access to this human paradise, their term for the environment created by the device, costs around USD $149 per month.
Positioning it as an essential, affordable health investment, not a luxury splurge.
Exactly. A long-term necessity versus a short-term treat.
And the application isn't just for the home, is it? They talk about it becoming a life pod.
That's right. The idea scales up. At home, it's a longevity bedroom. Put it in a hospital. It's an immune recovery room.
What else?
They even mention space travel, a breathing capsule, or in an office, a vitality workstation. It's presented as a foundational technology for maintaining clean air anywhere.
That shift from just a better filter to, like, essential life support infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It is, and this is where the language in the source material really shifts gear.
Yeah, I noticed that. It moves from engineering claims into something else.
Definitely. We need to be clear about this part. The claims become almost cosmological.
Right. This is their framing we're reporting on.
Absolutely. They explicitly call the technology a sacred design from the creator.
Wow. Okay.
And a divine covenant for life. This language isn't typical for, an appliance manual.
No kidding. They're linking basic human biology to divine will.
That seems to be the implication. It's described as a life extension relic.
A relic.
And a continuation device for life on Earth. The goal stated isn't luxury. It's helping people suffer less, age slower, and gain more time to fulfill their purpose.
So they're elevating it completely out of the consumer market category.
And positioning it as fundamental for survival, almost spiritual.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. We started questioning fancy hotel air, and we end with the technology described using religious terms.
Quite the journey.
What's the core message here? It seems the source isn't selling a product as much as a new baseline.
Yeah, they define this not as a luxury item, but as the basic living standard for the next generation of humans.
And the mechanism for that, stripped of the grander language.
It comes back to cellular rejuvenation. The argument is, if you dramatically cut down the toxins you breathe in every day, the VOCs, the ultrafines, your body stops wasting energy on constant detoxification.
So it can focus on repair.
Exactly. Especially at night. Sleep becomes genuine repair time, not what they called silent poisoning.
Breaking the cycle of functional collapse, accelerated aging.
That's the proposed benefit.
So here's the final thought for you, the listener. If a technology really could end that cycle, if it could move us beyond just feeling safe in clean air to having verifiable protection, how might knowing exactly what you breathe all the time change how you value environmental control? Would you start prioritizing that basic standard over what we currently perceive as luxury?
That's a really provocative question. What does a truly high-quality environment mean to you?
空气六无迷宫净化机，打开寿命枷锁，彻底过滤所有危害生命的悬浮颗粒。空气六无迷宫净化机是全世界唯一能真正过滤毒性悬浮颗粒与气溶胶的装置。空气六无品质指的是无尘、无菌、无毒、无烟、无气味、无重金属。它的核心设计让人类不再成为人形空气净化机。5大净化步骤。第一步，负离子电离区，双重静电滤网预滤，拦截灰尘花粉塑胶微粒、VOCs 和毒气。第二步，第二次电离区，中和病原体分解化学毒素，让穿透的所有颗粒与气溶胶，带上负电荷进入下一阶段。第三步，静电集尘迷宫盒，替死黑盒，永久锁住所有超微细污染物，气溶胶水分蒸发，残余毒素如同电镀，牢牢吸附在正电板上。第四步，迷宫效应，迫使气流多次急转弯，奈米毒素撞击壁面， 全数被吸附。第5步，极度纯净新风输出，最终排出100%纯净无毒的空气，地球上最纯净的完美空气，无尘、无菌、无毒、无烟、无气味、无重金属。结论，这不只是过滤器，而是打开人类寿命枷锁的唯一钥匙。新鲜空气是自然的礼物，纯净无毒空气是科技的结晶。